We can pretty much get started. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this very special AMA with Random Dex. We have an incredible conversation lined up. There's a giveaway, so stay tuned for that. They're going to jump into that a little bit, but we're looking to have an incredible conversation today, and I'm going to kick it off so my name is Samir. I'm the marketing manager here with Everdome, also known as your meta maestro here. But I wanted to kick it off just by introducing these gents over here who are going to basically kick off the conversation with us. Firstly, we have Randomizer, who is the co-founder and creator of Random Dex. He's been active in the space now since 2018. He's developed a number of well-known projects in the space, and he's looking to bring early entries and fun to crypto traders. And I think that's the key theme here, is how do we bring fun back into the space? And I think that's the part that is going to make this conversation all the more fascinating. Next, we have Randy, who is also the co-founder and the community marketing genius at Random Dex. He's been active in the space now since 2017, is a professional in trading and a TA with TA. But Randy is also our mascot and is the mascot, and here to represent the fun side of Random Dex. Gentlemen, welcome to this AMA. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're really excited to have it. Also, looking forward to diving into everything Random Dex and some really unique features and fun.
Yeah, thanks for
Absolutely.
having us, guys. Good to be here. And just had a little chuckle at the title we gave Randy, the community marketing genius, because he really is, though. He really is a genius when it comes to community. And yeah, we're excited to be here. We're going to dive into a lot of topics and also explain to everyone how we're going to bring the fun back. So good to be here.
Well, that's such an important point, I feel, right? I think for a long time, in the Web3 space overall, it seems like everyone has their shoulders up tight a little bit because you don't know what's happening in the space from one day to the next. And generally speaking, and to be quite frank and honest, there's been quite a lot of ups and downs in the space over the last couple of years. I'm sure everyone here can agree with that. But the one thing that seemed to have been missing is that pure sense of joy and enjoyment from just being in the space, the creativity, the different projects that are popping up, the prospects for what a future could look like here. And I think some of the amazing stuff that you guys are doing is really pushing that narrative forward. So I think the first thing that I would like to do, because we're going to have a mix of people in here, some of whom are familiar with the project, some who don't. Why don't we start maybe with a high level overview of what Random Dex is, what it stands for, and what you're kind of hoping for the future?
I'll kick it off. We've created the AARDX algorithm, and it's an algorithm that we set loose for traders. It runs on different modes, and I'll explain a little bit about the safe mode. It tracks performance metrics of different tokens, such as volume, trend, also market cap liquidity. It protects investors against illiquid pools and potential rogues and malicious contracts. What it does, it essentially invests for you. So an investor puts in the amount they want to invest, select 1 to 10 tokens they want to invest in. It runs the algorithm, it buys it for you, and you get a pop-up to see what you've bought. So the safe mode is for the investors that just want to have good purchases and want to have a diversified portfolio. That's how we cater to professional investors. There's also a more risk-on mode, which goes for the live new pairs index tools with, of course, it's a very risky environment, but with, of course, some safety features so people don't get hurt. But this is for the more degen risk-on traders that want to make bigger profits on high R&R. So this type of mode uses the algorithm, sets it loose on the live new pairs, and purchases the lower cap tokens, displays it in a pop-up, everyone can see what they've bought, can add it to their wallet, can choose to take profits anytime they want. That's how we cater to two types of investors. What we've seen in recent markets is that people are also trying to get in early before the KOLs. we've created a mode, which is called an alpha mode, which tracks wallets of certain high net worth or KOL investors that our algorithm found out, and it gets in as soon as they get in. So what happens, this alpha mode has investors directly invest into alpha wallets, and this essentially gets them in before the KOLs call it on their Twitter. And that's mostly when tokens get traction. So there's 3 different modes. One's for the safer ones, just a diversified portfolio. One's a risk-on mode, more for the active traders wanting high risk and return. And then we have the alpha one for users that are mainly investing based on the KOLs they follow. So that's how we cater to the whole space. There's going to be a lot more modes coming. But this is the basis of our whole product.
That's really impressive. I like this idea that no matter who the individual is, no matter what level of knowledge they possess, whether it's entry level or, to your point, they're degens, they've got a lot of expertise in the space, that there's a space for everyone in there. So whether you just entered into the Web3 space and you're going, wow, there's so much going on all the time. How do I keep up with anything? There's a space for them. And then for the ones that are sort of, 4 monitors in, they know what they're looking at, they know what they're looking for. There's an opportunity for them as well.
Yeah,
that's exactly what we're targeting. I'll let Randy take over for a little bit because he is all about our branding, fun, and what we're targeting.
Appreciate that. Yeah, so just touching a bit on kind of our ethos and kind of vision. There's a big thing we've seen in the space about bringing back the fun, how it's almost kind of a taboo against utility projects, kind of having fun. It always has to be quite serious. However, we've seen in meme coins where they're often attention based and can have a lot of fun. They've really thrived in the current market. Now, we don't want it to be either this or that. We wanted to have a project which had a solid utility and use case and could be innovative, but also captured those fun and exciting elements to make it a lot more engaging and just a more enjoyable experience. Regarding our modes, as we were talking about, we cater to different types of traders, and we think this will really help us when it comes to new people getting into the space and onboarding, but also people finding whichever niche and area they want utilize our platform, they can.
Very cool. And in terms of the learning curve for someone using the platform, what does that look like, let's say, for a newer entrant?
Yeah, so we actually have the MVP, the minimal viable product, recently, and what the main core foundation, we wanted to make it simple, easy, and accessible to use, so anyone can kind of understand and navigate on a clean UI. So it's very user friendly, and we then have the modes which kind of can be adjusted for someone's expertise and experience. On top of that, what we're trying to do is first having a core foundation of simplicity, polish, and ease, and then we're going to gradually increase the gamification elements, how engaging the platform is, the prompts, and but we'll save a bit of the gamification talk for a bit later.
Can you, one of the things, so when you and I were having a conversation prior to this AMA, you were telling me how excited you were about the product's ability to be adaptable with, as you coined it, limitless opportunities. Randy, can you share a little more about why you use the words limitless opportunity?
Yeah, of course. So we've said from the start we want to bring innovation and fun together. With our randomized selections of the platform will buy you into a randomized selection of tokens within set parameters. Now, the good thing about this is we have built our algorithm to be very easily adaptable. So we can take and plug in different types of databases. That could be, top AI coins. That could be different types of RWA coins. It could be gamified, which I'm a huge fan of. It could even be niche genres such as every project which has a space, let's say in Everdome's metaverse, will be in this new mode. So we've made it so it'll be really easy to add in different databases, and that gives us so much potential to add in new modes and new also incentives, not only for our users, but also projects with partner with us and our kind of network.
And I want to go back. I know you said we were going to jump on it later, but I almost feel like this is a good opportunity to chat through the gamification piece, because it seems like a lot of where the space is headed is in the realm of gamification, bringing the fun back to the space, ensuring that users are engaged, it's interactive, there is a thirst for coming back for more and more. How does the gamification piece play into all of this?
I think I'll take this one. Gamification is in the form of that in the beginning, you don't really know what you're going to get. So, the algorithm will take care of you and that it's going to provide you a good investment. But you also don't know which tokens you're going to get from the beginning. You're going to discover that after. You're going to get to do your own DD on the back end instead of like before you purchase a token, which is also an interesting way of investing. You're basically trusting our algorithm to do the good thing for you, which like we've built it that way, but kind of a game as well. In addition to that, we're building out some more features. There's going to be mystery boxes for people using the platform. We're also handing out 2 of those today to participants of this AMA. And we'll have additional games accessible for people holding RDX. So there's a lot of utility in the token, not just buybacks, burns, rev share. There's also different utilities which gives you access to the platform, access to mini games, discounts on the fees. A lot going on the token. But gamification is in different elements. Randy is actually also like seeing he's part of the founding team. He's also very creative, and he came up with a wheel which is similar to a wheel of fortune, where users who use the Random Dex platform will get tickets and they get access to the wheel of fortune, where they can win RDX tokens or merchandise or other things, maybe even MVP access to future products. There's going to be a lot of different games on the platform, which all hint a little bit at the usual gambling type, but it's definitely not going to be gambling. It's going to be investor focused, making sure people make the right investments, but we'll have the fun of a gamble type, degen type of project. So we're combining both. It's utility, good product, making sure people make the right investments, but it can also be fun. There's no reason we need to be serious about it.
Well, I mean, when you say Wheel of Fortune, I don't know how you could not have fun with a Wheel of Fortune type game. I love that show. I love that game. So sign me up, please, because I definitely want to play. And it makes me curious, like the piece around the fun part. I mentioned this sort of at the top of this introduction piece. The space itself, there's just constantly so much happening, whether you turn on the news or whether you're turning on X or whatever platform you get your information from. There's always constantly some form of negative news around the space. But when you have an honest conversation with anyone who's building in this space, is just interested in the space, believes in where it's going, you could almost see a childlike enjoyment in when they talk about it. Why is it, in your opinions, so important that we bring this fun back to Web3, back to this space?
Well, as I said in my bio, I've been here since 2018, and I've had a lot of highs and lows in the space, and in my opinion, it's gotten too serious. I remember having the last like actual bull cycle, I think in 2020 or 2021. I think it was beginning 2021. People were having fun all around, and I know markets going down cause people to have less fun, but there's no reason for it. You can have a fun community regardless of a token price, regardless of a product. We're of course with our IDO. we've arranged everything so our token price doesn't go down in any way. We're launching at a 127K market cap. In this market, no one's going to sell below that. Like, no one's selling below 127K. There's way too much potential in it. So that's how we've designed it. We'll have the fun of people enjoying the ride up, it pumping up. Everyone wants that. On the other hand, if there is a dip, the community will still be fun because we've built it so it has fun. Like our AMAs, our spaces, our Telegram chats, there's going to be no limits to it. A lot of Telegrams have limits on GIFs, on price chat, on stickers, on insulting messages. We're going to leave those filters out. People can do it themselves just like they do on X. And for X, it's working fine. So we'll just do the same thing. We will make sure everyone feels free to do whatever they want in our community and just have fun together.
Why is that important to the both of you? When you were sitting down to ideate how you're going to build out Random Dex, the type of community you want to nurture and build, why was it important to you that, for example, like the no filters in the chats, all those things, why were those so important for you in terms of how you envisioned building this community?
Yeah, I don't know if I could just add in on this and add a bit of my background also, but I've been in the space since 2017. Was a diehard hardler, I'd hardle anything, especially gamified projects. So you best believe I've seen some really good highs, but some really good lows. Yet still, despite that, even some times when the market's been bleak, I noticed there was still a lot more fun in the air. There was a lot more optimism. There was a lot more community and a lot more just general curiosity and wonder for the space and the new developments going on. Right now, we were talking about how how it's got quite serious and a bit kind of mundane, especially when it comes to utility projects. And this kind of ties hand in hand because we really want to have a passionate, vibrant, fun-loving community. Purely because that's way more enjoyable. You get a way more connected community, a way more passionate community, and you have an almost cult, but in a good sense, not too obsessive. Now, not only do we think this is much nicer, I mean, everyone wants to have a fun, happy community which are connected, but it also plays a vital part in a project's success. I don't think community can ever be overlooked. I hate to keep drawing up on this, but well, I don't hate, but meme coins, for example, they've been so prevalent, and it's because they have a very vibrant and loud, engaged community. Now, we think there's a whole thing with utility projects kind of having feeling like they can't also have that. Where we want that. We want to have that loud, passionate community which can have fun, let loose, but also has a product they can enjoy, bring actual value to them, and use case. So for us, I think, and I'm just speaking on randomizers now, but I think we've been in the space for so long, we've seen kind of ups and downs when it comes to sentiment and how it is, and we wanted to bring that back. And we thought it'd be perfect as well, we're seeing the advantages of having fun and vibrant community with meme coins doing well, but we're not seeing that over utilities. Because again, I think there's a bit of a taboo that things have to be professional and prompt and serious. And don't get me wrong, we when it comes to being organized and behind the scenes, we are like that. But we also want to have fun. We want our community to have fun. And yeah, we just wanted to build something kind of refreshing for the current market climate.
And do you find, I'm all for this approach, by the way, like constantly trying to find a way to engage the community, have fun with the community, and also simultaneously balancing being a well-run professional organization. I think the two balance each other out and are important. I'm curious because you said the word taboo, whether you think that this can potentially be a hindrance for you from the outside when the rest of the industry per se were to look at this project and go, these guys are just about having a good time, they're not taking it seriously. Does that ever concern you?
I believe that there's always going to be some kind of friction and some kind of preconceptions, but we're confident what we're building, and all we have to do is showcase it and kind of we believe those doubts will fade away. Like we do want to have fun, but we're also extremely confident in the products we're building, the use case, and we're looking forward to showcasing that. And if there is a barrier, if there is a possible barrier, then it's one we um, have no doubt we would overcome.
Randomizer, what are your thoughts on that?
I was walking around, I wasn't paying attention.
Enjoying the space. Having fun in the space, exactly. So I was curious because part of what Randy was talking about was the idea that you want to have fun but also be a well-run professional organization, and that sometimes from the outside, the crypto space, the Web3 space in general might still think that any projects that aren't perceived as professional, sort of, fully buttoned up, tie on type of thing might not be an organization or a project to take seriously. I'm wondering, from what you've seen, what you're doing, whether you feel that this could potentially be a hindrance for Random Dex.
I think it won't be a hindrance. I think it will help us in the long run. People want to be part of a fun community. They want to be able to hang out somewhere, chat to everyone. I think we'll create that. It wasn't a hindrance for Pump Fun, and in a way, we are part of the Pump Fun market. We basically provide entries not before launch, but right after launch, which gets people a better investment, which Pump Fund sometimes even doesn't. Sometimes it just like rugs immediately. That's what we prevent. So I think we're a more tailored version of Pump Fun, and we're going to do it better. They have a fun community. They don't have a serious brand. People like it. They're generating a lot of volume. They're making a lot of profit for people. So why wouldn't we be able to do it with the same fun branding? So I like to look at us as a more tailored version of Pump Fun. So yeah, I think it won't really hurt us in the long run. I think it'll do as well.
Randy, what are you most excited about with Random Dex?
I would just add on to the previous question as well. I feel like um, it's although it could be a barricade, I also do see it being a potentially good edge, as we're leaning into this very heavy about having fun, but also being a utility. And I feel like what we're hoping is this is quite a refreshing, which not really any projects are massively leaning to. And we really hope that kind of resonates with people who maybe have been a bit down or a bit bored of the current kind of um, ethos and kind of structure currently. Going on to your question though, it's a tough one. I mean, there is a lot of things I'm really looking forward to. I think for me, mainly just there's a lot. So I really want to see.
Okay, give me your top three then. It sounds like there's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So I've been always massive on Gamify. A buying into the sandbox, mana, engine, um, kind of early days. So I really am looking forward to seeing like people have fun with the gamification part, the kind of platform mini games. So that's definitely one. I'm also massively looking forward to just building this really vibrant community where we have kind of where more lax, people can do what they want, and just seeing if we can just make one of the biggest kind of vibrant, fun communities about. And the third would be I started off very much as a very TA trader, a bit of options as well. But over the past year or two, I've very much been into the low caps, micro caps, kind of trenches. So I am no stranger to risk. So I really would like to see our users use the risk mode and see see if they can come up with some big wins.
Randomizer, what about you? What are you most excited about? Top three.
Number one, I think, is our upcoming IDO. We have something really good planned for it. Amazing collaboration. We're just waiting for them to finalize their product. I can't really give much alpha on that, but it can assure you it's going to be an insane launch. It's a new product with an existing very big community. We're launching at a very small market cap, so people will have a limited entry. For our TGE, we have over 100 KOLs arranged. So it's like hooking up a rocket engine to a tricycle, which I'm very excited for to see how that's going to go. Second is to have fun, which we will have on launch day as well. Yeah, very excited to have fun again because that's what we want for the community. Like, work is serious, product is serious. It's all like quality, as it has to be. But we're very much excited to have fun with it all. And I think third is seeing traction for the product, because we're going to create a fun community and make sure people get excited, and then we just want to see how people are actually going to use our product. And if we're able to, well, we know, like, in essence the product can, but we want to see people make profit with the product. We want to see how it benefits people with their trading. So that would come third. So I think excitement, IDO. Second is having fun. Third is seeing traction for the product.
What does the roadmap look like for that? Is there a time frame or a timetable in mind in terms of when you want to see some of these things start getting rolled out? Yeah, of course. So I was saying, is there a specific timetable or time frame that you're looking at in terms of rolling some of these top pieces out?
We will be announcing our IDO date in the coming weeks. So not next week, but I think the week after. It honestly depends on who we're launching with, like the announcement from their end. The product will be live about 5 weeks after our IDO, the way we've planned it. So it's a fairly short amount of time between actual IDO and product. And then we're going to be building it out. So it'll be very easy for us to deploy all the different modes, but we also want to deploy on more chains. So we're starting off on Base. We will also look at Ethereum. We'll look at Ape Chain. I'll give some more information on why we chose that chain as well. And we're also going to deploy on Monad eventually, which is one of the bigger upcoming blockchains. They still have to deploy their mainnet. And eventually we want to be fully cross-chain. We just want to be able to deploy on any EVM. I could dive deeper into why we chose Ape Chain as an eventual chain to deploy on as well.
Please do. I'm curious.
Well, our first deployment is Base Chain, because most volumes there, a lot of tractions there. There's a lot of available tokens, which is good for traction for our initial product. But I'll give you guys a little bit of alpha. We've been working with a partner of us who is backed by Animoca brands. We're currently also in new conversations with Animoca. We're going to try and work together with them on also getting this on their chain, which is Ape Chain. It won't be our first deployment. It will be second deployment. We're still trying to see how the collaboration fits, but we do have connects there. They like what we're building. We just have to see how we can work together and if it's a fit for Ape Chain. So yeah, there's very exciting developments, and as you can see, even a fun product like this, which isn't too serious, can get at least some interest from a big brand like Animoca. But I just wanted to mention it here because I think for us, even getting the approval, like, hey, we love your product from such a company, is huge credibility. And yeah, that's a little bit of alpha I wanted to share.
So I'm going to be turning it over to the Q&A portion shortly. But before I did that, I wanted to basically ask, in terms of sort of next steps, is there something that Random Dex is not doing that you are hoping to institute in the near future?
That's a tough one because we bounce so many ideas off each other. So we're always coming up with new things, kind of discussing how it can bring value, if it would be fun. Is there something we're not doing at the moment?
You have a magic wand, you can do whatever you want. What would that be?
Magic wand. We are looking into getting some more trading bot-like features, maybe in the future. Think like Maestro. Other than that, we really want to have some really good. Wow, we're kind of doing these things actually. We have been on the talks about having some kind of streaming competitions where people stream and use our platform, and we have some competitions for who gets the best results and so on. Other than that, we bounce so many ideas between us that most of the things we've either been discussing about doing or are kind of putting it into the roadmap, but we don't really want to announce everything just yet.
Okay. And just before we jump into the Q&A portion, maybe you could share a little bit of insight into how this giveaway is going to work.
So the giveaway is, for one, the person with the best question, in our opinion, will get a mystery box, which can contain anything from tokens, USDT, to even merchandise or getting early access to the platform. And the merch are really going to want it. We're currently in the late stages of design. But yeah, you're really going to want some merchandise because it's really cool stuff. The other mystery box will be given to the weirdest question. And you can think of anything. It does not even have to regard crypto or Web3. Just any question, but it's got to be weird.
I will just add in as well.
Yeah.
Oh no, you finish it first.
Well, I just wanted to add to the question before this with the magic wand stuff. We are creating an additional product, which we've seen a lot of demand for. It's going to come after our main product, and we're calling it the dustbin. And I think anyone in crypto has traded smaller coins that have gone to dust and are probably worth about 10 or 20 bucks now. But no one's going to go onto a decentralized exchange and swap 10 tokens that have gone to dust to get their $200 back. They forget about it. What we're going to create is the dustbin, which detects tokens under a certain value that you can put yourself. Let's take $20 as an example. It detects all those tokens and it swaps them in one transaction back to a token that you actually that's actually useful. So we could do ETH, but we're also thinking of doing RDX, driving up demand for RDX. But we're gonna have Random Dex where users can diversify their portfolio, safe, risk, and alpha mode. And next to that, we're gonna have the dustbin. Just in case one of those tokens doesn't perform too well, you can clean out your wallet with the dustbin, and you can do it with all of your wallets and just gather it together so you have a lot of your money back. So that's one of the interesting features we're currently working on, and it's going to come after our initial product deployment.
We'll just add as well, on top of the mystery boxes, in the spirit of Random Dex, we do like to, be random. So you can also expect some unique and interesting things in these mystery boxes if you are lucky to win one. As well as we will also be having quite a lot of interesting competitions, events, very just outside the box kind of giveaways and competitions coming up. So we look forward to kind of releasing some of those in the near future and seeing people's reactions, see if they have fun with it. And yeah.
Amazing. Okay. I'm not sure if I want to start with the weird one or the good one yet, but let's just see what people come up with. Who has a question here? If you want to say anything, just raise your hand, or you can tap on the V button to ask your question. You can also type it in the chat by pressing C, and that way, if you don't want us to hear your lovely voice, we can also just read the question out. So, looking around to see if anyone's got a question. Floor is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, nice. I think my audio is not working perfectly, but I got kind of question to Randy. Earlier in the beginning, you told us that he is your mascot, right? My question is, does he really has a real suit in real life that contains dice, you know, that he walks into, that he has to wear?
Do you know what? I'm glad you said that, because in the spirit of Random Dex, we may not have that now, but it's definitely something we could look into. Like a big life-size costume for Randy would be quite fun. It would definitely gather a lot of attention too. If that was your question, were you asking about if he had dice with him?
Like a dice suit, you know?
Yeah, so he has dice in his tail, and we could definitely do some. We want to make it fun when it comes to our kind of marketing. So, I mean, it'd be a great idea if we got a life-size kind of suit for Randy. I'm sure we'd have a lot of fun with that.
And, you know, it almost made me smile because I see it in front of me, all those little kids kicking his ass, you know?
Well, that's good. That's exactly what we wanted. We wanted it to be, kind of funny, make people laugh. And I'm also very excited. I mean, we've got some, if you guys can still hear me, we have some images of Randy just on the other side of this space over here. So if you ever do want to check out um, any of that. But yeah, we're really looking forward to creating more Randy content. Like I said, mascots are really have helped meme coins a lot with branding and awareness, and we really want to make some fun content with Randy to do just that. Thanks for your question.
Yeah, I have some other question. What are the crypto narratives that you can foresee as becoming successful in the next alt season market?
Ooh, I want to know this one.
I think one of the trends is still AI. Everyone's talking about it. It's getting a little too present, but it's definitely going to be a trend. I think ETF and index funds is also going to be a big trend, especially with bigger players coming in. And I still think just overall diversification is going to be a big trend because people will want to have a little bit of exposure everywhere.
Although it wasn't the financial advice.
Yeah. And
Yeah, make sure
honestly,
it
I think even you guys are gonna have a run because metaverse is always going to be there, you know. Gaming, metaverse, it's always gonna ride the bull cycle in a way. We've seen Sandbox, Mana, as in Decentraland. It's always going to be there. So I think metaverse is also going to have a run again.
I would agree with that, and that's not from a biased perspective. I genuinely believe that immersive experiences similar to this one are only going to get more and more, become more and more regular occurrences, right? Organizations wanting to have more engaged users, organizations wanting to have more engaged employees, you name it. I think there's also an appetite in the Web 2 space to want to move into this type of immersive experience for their meetings, their conferences, all of those things. But speaking of AI, I think it was Sol Galeo had typed in a chat question. And the question was, obviously you need to keep your random AI secret sauce a secret. But how do you balance sort of maintaining the AI component a secret, but also giving people enough information to trust you and the project, which I think speaks more so to the general balance between, to your point, everyone is now using AI or saying that they deploy AI in some way, but we still know very little in general about how AI is operating, to what degree it's operating. How are you balancing the two?
Yeah, I don't mind talking on this one. We can discuss one of the functions anyway, which we're using. So, like I said, we have our kind of own algorithm, which uses predetermined metrics, predetermine which projects to buy into via certain databases we put in. So one element we're using the AI for is kind of just to empower this function. So we'll have different databases, which actually is probably another one of the things I'm really looking forward to, is the ability to have all these different databases plugged in. But what we'll do, we'll use AI as well to kind of go through a database of projects and a selection of projects. Our algorithm is all already generated via our own algorithm and our metrics, and we'll just use it to analyze and give feedback on projects which are listed in there, suggestions which projects maybe should rotate out, finding also new projects as well which suit the criteria we've set in the algorithm. So we're using it as more like an aid and to empower something we've already developed ourselves. Therefore, we have like a balance where we have manually, well, via the algorithm, made a list, but we're also using the AI to kind of empower and give suggestions, which we then can implement, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to look around the room here, see if anyone has a question. Remember, you can type it out. You can just say it. Okay, we got another question from Sol Galeo. If Random Dex walked into a room, what would you want its theme music to be? I guess this person is aiming for the weird question.
If Random Dex walked into a room, what do you want its music theme to be?
What are we thinking? Thinking straight off the wall Crazy Frog, or are we thinking...
Crazy Frog would be fun. Could also do some good drum and bass. But I don't know. Yeah, I think
We'd
either
have
what
a
Randy
mix, I think,
says.
actually. We'd have a mix because we're random. So it'd probably be a mix of different songs crammed into one. We'd definitely have some Crazy Frog in there. Maybe a bit of drum and bass, maybe a bit of rock. Anything, because that's the whole thing about random. It has no preference. Therefore, it can be favorable to everyone, their tastes.
Gents, Sol Galeo is saying that says, I can go weirder if you like. What are we thinking? We want him to go weirder? Him or her to go weirder?
Shoot it. Of course. Go ahead.
All right. All right, Sol Galeo. Type out your question. I also saw Pixel Paladin, I think it was, typed something, but I've missed it. So if you don't mind typing that in again for me, please.
I think I saw that. I think it was, if I'm not incorrect, it was just to do with catering to different traders' risks. And if that was the question, yeah, exactly. That's actually one of our biggest kind of like selling points on top of that is we're going to have different modes to cater to every person's risk tolerance and scale. And we're going to have, and the way we've done the algorithm, we've kind of leaves it kind of limitless with the amount of different databases we can put in for every type of trader, whether you're new, a veteran trader, like to have less risk, higher risk, whatever section you like, whether that's trending categories such as AI, RWA, real world assets. We have something for everyone.
All right. Pixel Paladin, I hope that answered the question. If not, feel free to just type in a response there. Sol Galeo. Okay, so luckily I don't have to answer this question. But randomizer, Randy, you have to choose one. Would you rather make love to Donald Trump or have him, I'm presuming, make love to you?
I'm not taking anything up my ass. That's I think it's fair. It's fair to say I'd rather do it to him than take it up my ass. Sorry.
I second that, but yeah, I second that opinion.
Okay, Sol Galeo's making an attempt to really win the weird question mystery box. Is there anything else in the room? Any other questions? I'm not sure how anybody tops that one, but Any other questions in the room? Any comments, even? Feedback on project? Solgaleo is trying to win both giveaways. I think so.
I think he's on a good track, but we need a really weird or good question. If someone wants to top that.
That might be the one question that wins both. You're right. Gentlemen, one final question for you two then. Is there anything that we haven't talked about, anything that has not been asked, minus the Donald Trump question, that you would want us to know?
It's a little hard not to give.
There is some news, but are we going to be? I don't know if we're going to be able to mention it.
I don't think
just
we
yet.
should.
Just yet.
That's okay.
But
That's okay.
It's a little mysterious now, isn't it?
It is. There's like an eerie feeling in the room, like,
There's
what
like
could it be?
I was just about to type to randomizer, being like, should we? But I don't think it's.
No, I think we need to keep it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
just means that when you're ready to, you come back here and you make that announcement.
The only thing, like, everyone in here likes IDOs, and everyone in crypto likes to make a bit of profit and get in early. We're launching at 127K. We have some very well-known KOL groups on board that have made an exception for us, seeing they think it's a fun concept. They usually push a lot of projects that are a couple million or even more in market cap, and they bring in, let's just say, a fuck ton of volume. They've made an exception to support Random Dex on our launch day. So we're just going to see how that goes. Someone saying 127K looks good. Initial raise complete. Seed and private raises are almost closed, and the only thing we just need to do is our launchpad launch, and then we'll be good. But yeah, we're starting low, and the main reason for that is we know what our development is going to cost, and we're raising enough for our development. And we are not being greedy, because everyone on our team has also invested themselves into the project. So we're not being greedy. That is why we can launch very low and get people a good entry. And yeah, that is all I'm going to say about that.
I also want to add on the fact, and we spoke a bit about this yesterday, Meta. We are really waiting to kickstart a lot of what we are doing behind the scenes and really ramp up our social activity. Basically when we can finally release our kind of IDO and launchpad. So, but I just want to make it clear, we're massively community driven. So even if you don't have access to the launchpad we're going to be on, we're going to have so many different activities, social events, competitions, because we want community members who are passionate and want to have fun with us and just support the project. So there's going to be loads of opportunities to get in and basically be a part of Random Dex. So we hope you guys are participating in those when they come up. And yeah, just wanted to put that out there.
All right, guys.
Amazing.
I think we can conclude it. So this was a fun AMA, and really thank you for hosting.
No, of course. This was fantastic. Really glad we were able to have this conversation. Really curious in terms of who the winner of the giveaways are.
I think we just gotta give it both to Solgaleo. Just contact us on our main Twitter account. Just verify how you want. Maybe shoot your Twitter @ in here, so we can verify it when you DM us. I'll just wait for you to shoot it in, or anything that will help us verify you. But yeah, thank you for the question. We'll give them both to you, because those are funny and great.
I will just add, we're giving away another 2 mystery boxes, so because we really appreciate you guys turning up, participating. So we'll be giving away another 2. That will be announced a bit later. It'll just be just engaging with the socials, but more details will come a bit later. And thank you guys for turning out.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in on this AMA. Best of luck with the launches and everything you guys are doing, and let's continue the conversation.
All right. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks,
Awesome,
everybody.
really appreciate you having us.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Meda.